Call the pros at Celebrity Greens, 1-888-507-7960, or visit them online at celebritygreens.com. My name is Preston James. I've been a stock and options trader for 23 years. I used to be an active swing trader, but that all changed once I discovered my Money Press weekly paycheck method. These days, I'm a passive trader, hauling in more cash while being able to sleep at night than I ever dreamed possible. I'm passionate about the market, and I like to keep it simple. My methods are changing thousands of lives, and I'm confident it can change yours. But let the proof do the talking. By going to accountproof.com, that's accountproof.com, you'll see a 7-minute video revealing how my Money Press method grew a $54,000 account to $174,000 in less than 9 months. That works out to 5.8% per week. You'll see the proof right inside my real brokerage account. This isn't about overnight riches, but once you discover this for yourself, you can start on this same path overnight. You're 7 minutes away from changing everything you thought you knew about trading and investing. Go to accountproof.com to get started. That's accountproof.com.
Are you struggling with hearing loss? Do friends and family complain that your TV is too loud? Are you tired of asking people to repeat themselves? If you want to hear clearly again, but don't want a bulky hearing aid that makes you look old, you need to try Atom X by Audion Hearing. The Atom X is a life-changing breakthrough, precisely designed by top audio engineers, fits comfortably in your ear, is nearly invisible, and lets you adjust your sound so you can hear conversations clearly, at home, at dinner, or on the go. And right now, you can try the Atom X risk-free for 45 days. Call Audion Hearing now at 800-991-HEAR. That's HEAR for a 45-day risk-free home trial with free shipping and money-back guarantee. The Atom X is lightweight, rechargeable, practically invisible, and costs 90% less than prescription hearing aids. Don't miss out. Call 800-991-HEAR for complete details. That's 800-991-4327. Hearing for everyone. Audion Hearing.
Attention. Have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options currently being made available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe, even if you have bad credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers. So don't wait. If you owe $10,000, $20,000, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, you can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-234-7799. That's 800-234-7799. Once again, that's 800-234-7799. It's your podcast.
You are listening to the best of the Sean Hannity Show. Exposing government waste and abuse of your liberties.
I want to get some wings, Snob,
Sean Hannity is on
for the game.
now.
I was going to work today, but I pulled a muscle on my side, so.
The Iranian supreme leader warning of a, quote, regional war. If we don't make a deal, then we'll find out.
I'd have been useless moving slow and everything, so.
Sure. Iran, the supreme leader today said that U.S. attacks could spark a regional war.
Why wouldn't he say that? Of course, you would say that, but we have the biggest horsepower ships in the world over there, very close, a couple of days, and hopefully we'll make a deal. If we don't make a deal, then we'll find out whether or not he was right.
I don't know what deal.
Similar to what I had over the summer. I was coughing and it just pulled a muscle on my side.
I mean, you can never, and Donald Trump's not Barack Obama, he's not Joe Biden, he's not the Democrats. He's not going to give in to the intimidation of the Ayatollah and his warning of a...
No, wing snob. Read the title, S-N-O-B.
It's the same old trick with them. I mean, he manipulated Barack Obama to take...
It's like a better version of Wingstop.
And other currency in cargo planes and drop it off to the mullahs in Iran so they can foment terror and build out
Wingstop, they'll deliver. I have to go pick this up because it's on the other part of the north side of Toledo. But this is what we want for the Super Bowl, so this is what we're getting.
Those people that have been protesting. The only thing I see to negotiate, I know there's an Axios story about U.S.-Iran nuclear talks planned for Friday amid this military buildup. Why do I think that is a head fake? As Tony Perkins said, it should be a short conversation. They've been talking for decades. They're simply buying time, hoping for an Obama or Biden-like administration when they get back to doing everything that they're doing. And I just don't think it's going to pay off. But like Levin's comments last night, he said it's turning into the North Korea of the Middle East. And you know what? We don't need that in the Middle East. I think every country in the region is very aware of what potentially could happen here. But anyway, we'll have to wait and see what happens, won't we? Anyway, Justin Fulcher's with us, former senior advisor to Secretary of War, and also Doge, breaking down the latest on Iran, Venezuela, Cuba, America's next steps with all of them. The president's been very clear the U.S. will not hesitate with the Iranian Revolutionary Guard to continue to attack America, its interests, or these students. Justin, I don't even think there would be a nuclear ball because they don't have a nuclear program anymore.
Right, Sean. And I think the most important thing to understand about Iran right now is that President Trump has been extremely clear about the outcome he wants. No nuclear weapons and an end to the regime killing its own people. And what he's not doing right now is broadcasting timelines or negotiating through the press. The message has been delivered directly to Tehran, and Iran knows the terms and the stakes. At the same time, as you mentioned, the United States has made its capability visible.
Well, I ordered way ahead of time, so we'll see. It's even going to be ready, but yeah, I ordered it for pickup way ahead of time.
And that he'll back it up with force if necessary. And that combination
a couple hours ago, anyway.
And restraint is classic deterrence.
If they couldn't do it, they shouldn't have taken the order.
Force a choice on Iran without dragging the region into war.
Oh, I don't want the region going to war. I don't want the U.S. military to ever be in harm's way. I would prefer. I honestly think there's no negotiation that's going to take place. I don't believe it. I think Donald Trump did not meant what he said when he said help is on the way. And at this point, I don't think they have any cards, as he once famously said to President Zelensky. They've got no cards in this game. They've got nothing to terrorize people with. Okay, do they have some ballistic missiles? Yes, but they've been degraded dramatically. They don't have a missile defense system. I mean, the air, you can fly any plane into Iran. I'm pretty sure their air defense systems are down. So the only negotiation that I can see is, okay, we'll give you X number of days to get out and take your plane to Moscow and say hi to Vladimir for me.
Right, and I think, the Iranian regime should take President Trump's words extremely seriously. As we saw last year with Operation Midnight Hammer, President Trump is...
It's not a local leader either. It's
and as you said, I think
franchise.
The negotiation is pretty straightforward. Abandon your nuclear capabilities completely and stop killing your own people. And if they do that, then President Trump succeeds in that.
Oh yeah, it's typical.
Do that without force. I mean, that's deterrence in action.
Look, there's nothing I prefer. I don't ever like to put U.S. military in harm's way. I'd much rather do it the peaceful way. I just don't think they're peaceful people. And when you have bought into a death cult, which is what this regime is, and a belief system that teaches you that you get 72 virgins in heaven if you're martyred, in spite of how crazy they might be, but they have been slaughtering innocent.
I understand why it says I have
heartbreaking, and I don't believe that I've seen estimates as high as over 35,000 people that have been slaughtered. Interesting, the pro-Gaza crowd, not a peep out of them. Having a mass slaughter in Iran. Why do you think that is?
Well, Sean, that's certainly interesting. I think it highlights a double standard with that group. I mean, it's very clear here. The Iranian regime is killing its own people that are expressing their desires for freedom very clearly. President Trump has made it clear help is on the way. The U.S. Navy and the Department of War is, of course, mobilizing and preparing for any of those flexible response options that the president may require. And ultimately, I think the choice is very clear for the Iranian regime. It's compliant.
Their breakfast pizza is pretty good, though.
Cuba survive with a blockade in terms of getting any energy into the country? What is Venezuela going to look like? What is Europe going to look like? What is Greenland going to look like? What is the Middle East going to look like?
Well, I think the situation with Cuba today is very interesting. We've seen the collapse of its external support after the raid on Maduro in Venezuela and the erosion of that economic underpinning. Because without Venezuela, supplying subsidized oil, Havana will face severe shortages and ultimately a further eroding economy. And so overall, I think, President Trump is playing out the America First policy very clearly. In all these situations,
See if there's
America's back on the world stage, and when President Trump speaks,
like pregame stuff going on Sirius XM.
to back that up, the force is necessary.
Don't you think that if Cuba falls, that American companies would love nothing more than to get into that island, which could be beautified in ways that we can't even imagine today, and turning it into maybe a destination resort country?
Oh, absolutely. John, you're spot on. And, we saw that, nearly a century ago when, numerous U.S. companies and, frankly, Cuba was a pretty beautiful place with a lot of American investment and an American, tourist destination, before, the communist regime took over and nationalized all those assets. And I think, frankly, the economic situation in Cuba is so terrible that it's obvious that the Cuban people are seeking better economic prosperity.
There we go. Coverage of Superbowl. Here we go.
I remember the dorm rooms, the small bathrooms, the shelves out of reach when in my wheelchair. Every day was full of obstacles. I felt trapped.
Good to know if we ever get a Casey's out here. I did get a chance to stop at one when I was out there at Mitty's house.
That day changed everything. Now we have a safe and accessible home to enjoy the freedom I fought for. This place, our home, is exactly what we needed to rebuild our lives.
Homes for Our Troops builds and donates specially adapted custom homes nationwide for severely injured post 9/11 veterans and enables them to rebuild their lives. Join our mission at hfotusa.org.
Doug, there's nowhere I wouldn't go to help someone customize and save on car insurance with Liberty Mutual, even if it means sitting front row at a comedy.
Yeah, I'll probably switch between them. I mean, there's a bunch of country music singers too, so the wife's excited about that. But
Hey, for what you need, a Liberty Mutual.
I mean, I don't have to agree with a singer's political views to enjoy their music, though.
Okay, get this. Now at Wendy's, you get to go biggie with new Biggie deals. That means going biggie with the $4 Biggie Bites, Biggier with the $6 Biggie Bag, or Biggiest with an $8 Biggie Bundle. So now you can choose and customize your Biggie deal. As you should. Sorry, I get fired up when I'm talking deals. More Biggie options so you can get more of what you really want at Wendy's.
Price of participation may vary. Single items at regular price. Prices may be higher in Alaska, California, and Hawaii.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow.
See
My
shit.
husband Ryan died.
Son.
We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/gain. That's ethos.com/gain. Paid spokesperson.
I like some of that. Like
Can I choose a Sleep Number smart bed? Can I make my site softer?
Puerto Rican type music.
Can we sleep cooler? Sleep Number
Yeah,
is better.
in general, no, not mine either.
And let you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. Enjoy personalized comfort. For
I
better
tend to
sleep.
agree with you there, sir.
And now, during our President's Day sale, take 50%
Why is
off
such
limited
cords
edition
back
bed.
and forth?
Shop now for a limited time. Only at a Sleep Number store or
Right.
sleepnumber.com.
I had to untwist some cords here.
I am Steve Smith, Sr., former NFL wide receiver and host of the 89 Show on YouTube. As men, we're taught to handle things. Be strong. Don't complain. Don't talk about it.
Yeah, I think he is a little bit out there.
Being a father, a friend, a husband, and carrying all that gets heavy. Ignoring it doesn't make it go away. If you got things you don't say out loud, BetterHelp gives you a place to say online therapy that works around your schedule. Visit BetterHelp. That's better, HELP.
Starting with a weird name.
What if
if your instincts could pay off? With Robinhood prediction markets, you could put your knowledge to work on the events that matter to you. In fact, Robinhood prediction markets enable you to predict the outcome of over 1,000 different world events, such as the Fed rate decision, your favorite award show, and so much more. Trade events with Robinhood. Visit Robinhood.com/predict. That's Robinhood.com/predict. Futures and cleared swaps trading involves significant risks and is not appropriate for everyone. Event contracts are offered by Robinhood Derivatives LLC, a registered futures commission merchant and swap firm.
10 seconds to go. 24-23 Saints. Vikings at their own 39. It's third down. Case on a deep drop. Steps up in the pocket. He'll fire to the right side. Oh my God! Stay on! Oh my God! Are you kidding me? The fire in the video. Step on Diggs. In the middle of the Vikings. Takes off. With the New Orleans Saints.
All out and feet first on the Minnesota Vikings radio network, taking Prince's advice on a wild night back in 2018. Welcome back to Super Sunday. I'm Scott Graham. The name that Paul Allen used in his call stuck. Minneapolis Miracle was one of 80 career postseason receptions for Stephon Diggs. That number's impressive for two reasons. It's good for 12th all time, with a chance to creep into the top 10 later today. But it's also the most postseason receptions for any player who never played in a Super Bowl. In fact, it's 25 more catches than the next closest player. But that changes today for Diggs. After leading New England with another 1,000-yard season this year, Stephon will play the season's final game for the first time in his 11-year career. Our Hall of Famer and lead analyst Kurt Warner caught up with Diggs this week.
After the clocks hit zeros in the AFC Championship game, you were filled with emotions. Take me into what was going through your mind in that moment. It was like a little mini movie. Like it kind of like flashed like my career and my injury. It kind of like happened all super fast, and I was like, just damn. And then I just started looking at all my teammates and the faces they were making. And I saw the young guys. I was like, look at the young guys go, man. Their first year getting in the Super Bowl, man. Lucky them. And then I'm like, man, I've been doing this 11 years, man. I've been chopping wood, fell short a couple of times, and this is what it's about, man.
Chopping wood.
Another layer of appreciation.
Supposed to be playing football.
See everybody smiling. I was like, man, look at it. After suffering through the injury last season, you fought back in 8 months to be a part of this team. What fueled that comeback? It was a combination of things.
This is more like Puerto Rican traps. That's what they call it. Traparican or something like that. I'm sure there'll be some other performers too.
This team kind of gave me a boost of energy, like a battery in my back, like being around this organization, knowing how much they've won in the past.
What's nice is that if I want to, I can watch the halftime show later.
I wanted to be a star. I wanted to be one of the best quarterbacks in the league. Like going into that season, I just was like, man, these are some things I can put on my shoulders.
With YouTube DVR.
So watch you guys play, you become kind of a safety net for your young quarterback in a great way. Take me into the connection that you have with him.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. I was watching that Crap Rican.
He has that country boy on. So you can put it anywhere. It's pretty. I think
Crap, same thing.
Trying to take those steps in the right direction. He's finding the guys that make plays. You build that security by catching the ball. Making plays from like you a quarterback. You know how it is. When you bank those reps of a guy catching the pass from you or catching the ball from you, it's like, all right, I can trust him. I just wanted to see him take those steps in the right direction. He's been a pro. I want to see him win it all. He worked extremely hard, and he's a dog. So that quarterback position isn't easy. He's had a supporting cast, but I like to give him a lot of the credit. Your dad had an incredible influence on your life. Share with me how you guys used to celebrate Super Bowl Sunday together. It's crazy.
Yeah, she's cute. I saw her about it last night before I went to bed.
He used to say things in a voice that were convincing, wasn't loud, wasn't funny. Like, okay, you're playing Super Bowl. And I used to be like, man, I ain't thinking about that. And I was just like, man, I hope so. I take it one day at a time. I was so young. Like,
So what, 11 events down?
It was
I think they're actually pausing events for the Super Bowl. Or at least it's because of the coverage. NBC's doing both. Peacock's doing both the Super Bowl and the Olympics. So Ooh, I love pot stickers.
Definitely watched the Super Bowl with my dad on Thursday. And I think that was the Super Bowl.
The pork ones were my favorite.
Because he told me I was going to change from a running back to a receiver. And at that time, I was playing running back forever. I ended up being a receiver. Here we are. What do you think your dad would tell you today if he was here to share this moment with you? Finish the mission. I definitely wish my dad could be a part of this. Like, my dad never got to see me play a high school game, no college, and none of the NFL. I was like, I share this moment with him just because my dad was never a good pat on the back kind of guy. It was never enough. Like, I could have 3 touchdowns in a game. I could do some amazing stuff. He'd be like, well, it was all right. I've seen it done before. So that's kind of where I get that mindset. I'm just never satisfied, and I always want more. But right here, I got more in front of me. And everything I ever wanted, everything I worked hard for. And it's just a great opportunity, and I just want to hone in on the details. Like, for me, just doing my job is going to be enough. I wish I could share it with them, you know what I'm saying? But I want to share W with them. I don't want to share nothing.
From Stephon Diggs to Jackson Smith-Njigba, 2 men with clearly different paths. For JSN, it was a childhood forged from divorced parents, but not in the way you might think. Jackson's mom and dad were co-pilots on his journey, each bringing a different set of lessons.
Original ones are pork. I mean, they make vegan ones and everything too, or vegetarian ones.
He led the NFL in receiving yards this
place actually makes Cali wings, but they're not doing it for Super Bowl because they limited their menu because they were going to be so busy. So that's one of the things that Skullmeyer loved from here. But we may do. We got a couple fillets for.
I just got here. Honestly, I mean, time really flies fast, and definitely great.
Thing is, it's 7 hours later, 6 hours later there. So it's midnight at kickoff.
Get to make it here, so for me to do it, this early, it's a blessing, and I just want to take full advantage of this opportunity and make sure that we get the job done.
I doubt that they're pausing the actual games. They're probably just pause the coverage, and they'll get caught up on it after the game today. Yeah, she liked them a lot. We had them when we were visiting the grandbabies in Ann Arbor. I was like, oh man, they took them off the menu here. And then I looked at the fine print on their website today. They're like, yeah, menu's a little limited today because how busy they're going to be. Yeah, she loved them too. I don't mind it either. It's not bad at all.
People think you're off the last scrimmage and you've got a quarterback right on you, maybe even right on your hip. You're thinking that's a bad thing. The way you play, that's a good thing, isn't it?
Oh yeah, for sure. I think definitely this year, that's something that you see a lot. In my game, given the opportunity. Sometimes, there's a part of the route where I want the DB to be close to me, and I think this year understanding, how to win late. The DB can be there early or in the middle of the route, but then he's not there, at the end. Something that, I had to really work on because I would get open really early and then it would, squeeze at the catch point. So just understanding, playing ball, I think this year gave me a lot of opportunity to work on that and to really just grow in the game of football and at the position of wide receiver. And it's a cool thing to learn and get down and use.
You and I have talked a couple of times already this year, and we've talked about
deep fried mushrooms are good too.
As a young guy, and we talked about you running out onto the football field with no helmet on. We've talked about a number of things. I don't know if we ever talked about the fact that you played up on your brother's YMCA team when you were 3, but I know the one we didn't talk about. They had to strap you to a stroller because you were scoring so many goals in soccer.
Yeah, that's true. Soccer, I remember those days, really. And it took a lot to restrain me from leaving that little seat they have you strapped in. It was hell, to be honest with you. I'll never forget the frustration and all that stuff. Not forgiving my mom for letting me out there. I guess I was just too wild.
Clearly, you wanted to be a part of it. You wanted to be out there. You wanted to be in the arena. How much of that was because of the fact that your brother was doing it?
Oh, I mean, really a lot of it, you know, just
Oh yeah, deep fried pickles. Oh yeah.
Go through it first.
Wife is a pickle lover, so we've probably had them about it any way you can think of.
You know, I definitely
man, my ribs are hurting.
That and kind of carved my way through, you know, what I wanted to do and how I wanted to do it. And it started at a early age, you know, knee football, you know, at 2-3 years old. And, you know, I give a lot of credit to my brother because he kind of made me like a creative Madden player. So I got to give a lot of thanks to him.
Well, I read a story that, you know, when you're with dad's got you out running routes and he wants to tire you guys out. But when you're at mom's, now you and your brother, there are cushions where guys are supposed to be. There are cushions for barriers. And when your brother's not there, you're running plays yourself.
Yeah.
I mean, how much of that mindset puts you closer to where you are right now?
Oh, man. I was talking to my brother today literally about this. And, you know, he told me, you know, this is another game, but, you know, this is a game, you know, that we visualized for a very, very long time. And it's just awesome for it to, you know, really come to life. But I've been here before, you know what I'm saying? I feel like I've been here before and, you know, I've been on the big stage in my head. So it's just awesome to see it come to life.
Sorry, we're not going to get to talk to each other until next year, but thanks so much for the time and good luck.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Jackson Smith and Jigba, kid dodging cushions in mom's living room, won Offensive Player of the Year this week at NFL Honors. And with 83 yards tonight, have the second most receiving yards in a season in NFL history. The most, that belonged to his now teammate Cooper Kupp in his Super Bowl MVP season of 2021. With the Westwood One Sports app, you can stream every Westwood One broadcast live right from your phone for free. NFL, NCAA, March Madness, and more. It's all in the Westwood One Sports app. Download now for iOS and Android and take the game with you wherever you go. That's going to do it for this year's edition of Super Sunday. Stay tuned for Super Bowl 60 straight ahead. Kevin Harlan, Kurt Warner, Gene Steratore, Laura Oakman, and Ryan Harris standing by.
Okay, that's probably something we haven't had is Kool-Aid tickles.
The New England Patriots. The producers of Super Sunday are Nick Pope, Brian Finkelstein, and Aaron Cummins. Production assistants
was it like just soaked in Kool-Aid?
And Jordan Markovic. Studio coordinators Art Martinez and Curtis Poindexter.
I guess that would be a sweet tickle, wouldn't it?
Anthony Vidiello and Matt Higdon. Executive producer Mike Eby. The senior vice president of sports for Cumulus Media and Westwood One is Bruce Gilbert. I'm Scott Graham. We've got a lot more to come from Santa Clara. You've been listening to Super Sunday on Westwood One. Wherever you are, your team and your sport is on Sirius XM. Get live sports wherever you go with the Sirius XM app of American sports. A spectacle without equal. The battle for the Lombardi Trophy.
Having been there, I can assure you that it's a privilege and honor to be a part of that game.
Five-star and quarterback Shotgun Snip. Montana is back to throw. Bradshaw rolling right.
When he winds up, takes a hit, fires downfield.
Going for it all. Pace to the end zone. Caught. Rice touchdown.
But to win it, it's something that you remember. Oh.
The clock is run out, and the Jets are champions of the football world.
Don't tell us we're going to lose. Don't tell us we're going to get beaten up. That guarantee came because someone said they're going to kick our behind.
That would definitely make it a sweet one, wouldn't it? Where sold it? In the grocery store.
Completed the greatest season in NFL history. Terry Bradshaw rushed in front of him, way down in his jungle.
Look at that, 236 there. Yes.
Are the champions of the National Football League for the fourth time. Touchdown Raiders on the big run by Marcus Allen. Just win, baby.
34 across the street. American Petroleum.
Hungry Chicago, finally champions on this January day in New Orleans. Now it is first down. Montana's going to pass. It's caught. Touchdown.
Once you go to the Super Bowl and you win, that's all you can think about.
And a salute to the San Francisco 49ers, their fourth Super Bowl victory. And the kick. It is up. It is so good.
All right, my order's ready. Perfect timing. And my buddy Bill, he only likes sweet pickles. He doesn't like dill, which I think is silly. I love my dilly. Like all kinds of pickles.
St. Louis Rams in Super Bowl 34. The Terrence drive for the win. It's good. And the Patriots have won the Super Bowl for the third time in 4 years. It was like a pinball banging off posts. A touchdown in Seattle has just slammed the door on the Denver Broncos in Super Bowl 28. Thank you, Bill. In the shotgun, there's the snap. It's go high. It's intercepted at the goal line. Falcons with the race. Intercepted.
All right, be right back.
20 seconds left. It was the final game of his Hall of Fame career. The Denver Broncos, your Super Bowl 50 champions. Gentlemen, we're about to begin overtime here, and then we'll continue until the winner is determined. He dives. It is a touchdown. It is a touchdown. New England wins Super Bowl 51 in the greatest comeback in Super Bowl history. We're going to remember this one for the rest of our lives. Foles running up and down the line. It's a direct snap, and it goes to Clement, who gives it off to Burke, the tight end, that throws in the end zone. Touchdown. Foles caught the ball, and a touchdown pass in the yard by the tight end. What did we just see? You really want to know what we call it? Feeling special. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are Super Bowl 55 champions, led by Tom Brady. Absolutely a player for the ages.
I've had this experience. For everyone else to get it, that's the best part.
He runs and he throws, caught, touchdown. It's caught. Hardman caught the ball. The Chiefs have won their third Super Bowl in 5 years. It is a dynasty. Kansas City, we did it, baby. Down the middle. It's caught over the shoulder of the end zone. Touchdown, Smith. And that may make it insurmountable. 33-0 Eagles.
The 60th chapter will be written today. Westwood One Sports welcomes you to the Super Bowl.
Coast to coast, around the world, it's Super Bowl 60 live from Santa Clara, California. It's the AFC champion New England Patriots and the NFC champion Seattle Seahawks going for the Vince Lombardi Trophy. Today's broadcast of Super Bowl 60 on Westwood One is sponsored by King's Hawaiian, Progressive Insurance, Barbasol Shaving Cream by Spruce, and by the official NFL app. And a pleasant good afternoon and good evening, wherever you may be, along with the Hall of Fame quarterback Kurt Warner. We welcome you to our coverage of Super Bowl 60 here on Westwood One. It's the 39th consecutive season and the 53rd overall that we are the radio network home of the Super Bowl. Our terrific sideline reporter today, Laura Oakland, her 7th Super Bowl. She'll join us moments from now. And as always, the terrific rules analyst, Gene Steratore, in our booth right by Kurt. We'll be talking to him throughout the game. Also, the voice of the NFL, Scott Graham, and Super Bowl 50 champion Ryan Harris will be with us shortly for much more of our pregame activities. Is this all right together?
This is.
Oh,
It is.
man. I've got my just terrific.
It is. I love it every time. You are the best. It has been a joy. I know we've got many more that we're going to do, but it's been a joy.
Kickoff an hour and a half away. Walk us through in that locker room. Final message from the head coaches to the players. Walk us through what's going on right now.
Well, the biggest thing is players getting out on the football field. Like, there has been a lot of talk. You've answered a million questions. You've been waiting for this long day to plan, for the buses to leave, to get to the stadium, to throw the pads on, and finally go through a normal routine. And so, it feels more like every other game at this point. You're going through whatever you would normally do. It's about as normal of a part of these 2 weeks as you could possibly have. There's going to be nervousness, there's going to be anxiety, everybody wants to get to the kickoff. But usually the message from the coaches is, hey, we've done everything. We prepared, we've worked hard, we've kept everything the same. Now we've got to go out and play our best for 60 minutes.
Give me some headlines. What is the film telling you about how the Seattle Seahawks are playing now?
I think they're playing their best football right now, and it starts with Sam Darnold. A lot of questions about how he would play in the big moments, and I thought he played his best game in the game we called just a couple weeks ago in the championship game. He carried that football team. They want to run the football. Obviously, their pass game includes go through Jackson Smith and Jacob. But this is really starts with their defense. They got a defense that can get after you with their front four. They're really good in the secondary. They're going to show a young Drake May a lot of different looks. But they have a good, complete team that can beat you a lot of ways.
Give me your headlines on the New England Patriots and their sensational season.
Well, I'm going to start with their defense, because their defense has been sensational in the playoffs. Drake May and company has played against some top 5 defenses throughout the playoffs. So offense hasn't shown up as well, but the defense has been great.
That's the receipt flapping around on the. Let me turn it around. Turn the bag around. That's the receipt on the bag from the floor vent blowing on it.
He has struggled in the playoffs, unlike his MVP type season during the regular season. But the one thing he has done, Kevin, is he's made the big plays in the big moments. 1 touchdown pass in the 3rd down situation against the Chargers. Early 4th down situation, he throws a touchdown against the Texans. Last week, in a tough game, a couple huge plays, both with his legs and his arm, to help him seal that victory as well.
Fans are still falling in the stadium. Let's check the temperature in Santa Clara, California. Sponsored by Exergen Thermometers. Exergen's technology is backed by more than 100.
So I got one more stop. I'm going to grab a couple of sodas, a couple adult beverages for the game, and we are going to be good to go. I'm going to hit the one by the house, though. We're closer to the house. We're off the freeway there. Actually, let me do this.
66 degrees, light winds, and Gene's territory is in our booth. And Gene, it is an honor to have you up here. You've officiated a Super Bowl. You've been a part of this league for decades. As of right now, just walk us through some of the things that these officials go through in their preparation for a Super Bowl.
You know, it isn't a normal week, Kevin, naturally, and Sean Smith being the referee today, this is his first Super Bowl. He's got a veteran umpire with me, Roy Ellison, who worked Super Bowl 52 with me. So really what the officials are doing, really Monday through Friday, it is looking at tape. It's looking at team tendencies, how the teams match up against each other, and then really even more specifically, how the players match up with each other, because each official is assigned to 2 or 3 different players on the field. So you do your best as a referee now to create playlists and show those officials those matchups that will lead you to what you
We're going to hit the one on the door.
what you see in live action. And Gene, I've played in a few of these, and I'm curious, when Kevin was talking about the final message from coach to players, is there a final message in the room with the officials, like, hey, we don't want to dictate things early. Let it play a little bit earlier. We want to tighten, making sure it's tight early so we don't have to make up plays at the end. Is there a certain message that you go into these big games with? Well, you know what? You try to start in the regular season, but again, it's not.
No, it's cozy in here. I always pre-warm my car, so.
You want to get the big play, right? You want to make sure the big foul.
It's plenty cozy up in Deuce.
Don't get too technical. Don't go something in the game right now that you've got a match later that's not a big play.
We're going to check in with our sideline reporter, Laura Oakman. When we come back, it's Super Bowl 60, and this is Westwood One's coverage of the Super Bowl.
Your soul may feel broken today,
Joel Osteen.
but your soul can be restored. When you get honest with yourself, you release what you need to release, guilt, worry,
worry, anger, jealousy, then healing will come. Joy will come. Peace will come. Salvation.
Man, those lenses are dirty on that camera.
That have held you back or being broken off of your emotions, your attitudes, your thoughts. You are not going to live wounded. He's restoring your soul. Be inspired. Your latter days are going to be better than your former days. You're about to step into a new level of joy, peace, fulfillment, abundance, victory. So the best part of your life is still in front of you. Inspiration whenever you need it. 24/7. Joel Osteen Radio, Sirius XM 128, and on the Sirius XM app.
Let the games begin. On Sirius XM, you get all the sports play-by-play you want and all the live sports talk you need. It's always a home game when you listen to the NFL, NHL, NBA, and MLB on the Sirius XM app. How good is that? You fuel your fandom with NASCAR, biggest college games, PGA, and soccer. And when news breaks, hear instant reaction. You got a big developing story out of Cincinnati. The Sirius XM app. Everything a sports fan needs, all in one place.
Hey, it's Katie Nolan, your friend, favorite podcaster, and now Mad Dog Sports Radio host. That's right, I have a radio show now. It's fan service, weekdays from noon to 1 Eastern. It's your sports fan hotline, a show for the fans and a place for you. Sports fandom is complex and emotional, and now we have a place to come together and talk about all of it. It's fan service with me, Katie Nolan, on Mad Dog Sports Radio, Channel 82, and on the Sirius XM app.
If you're going to San Francisco,
and we're in Santa Clara, about an hour drive south of San Francisco. It is a perfect day for football. Mid-60s, it'll get to the upper 50s when we conclude. The sun is shining a brilliant blue above, and that will take us to our sideline as we welcome in our sideline reporter, Laura Oakman, sponsored by King's Hawaiian. Nothing brings friends and family together on game day like King's Hawaiian sliders.
They just had a redneck brawl fight here last night. Actually sold bunches of tickets. It was pretty popular.
What a beautiful day, Kevin. Sam Darnold told me he was the one person who never lost confidence in himself. But that doesn't mean he didn't need a confidence boost. You would think that boost came in Minnesota when we all saw the resurgence. But Sam told me it was actually before that in San Francisco, where it was all about the Sam Darnold recalibration. Sam said, as silly as it sounds, running the scout team versus that Niners defense, letting it rip, making plays and making good decisions. He said, that's where I gained so much confidence. But here's the recalibration. He said, watching Brock Purdy take what the defense gave him, not forcing anything, whether it was a deep ball or just checking it down. Sam said, for the first time I saw, it didn't have to be pressure-packed. He said, all the narratives about the quarterback position, I listened to all of them, all those years. It's on you. It's all about you. He said, I finally realized all I have to do is my job on every single play. Just do my part. 1 of 11. He said, I finally saw it so clearly. Kevin,
yeah, a friend of ours went to it. I'll send you a link to his live from this.
He's been great, and we thank you, Laura, and we so look forward to your reports all game long and your great work after the game, talking to the victors of Super Bowl 60. Now, for more of our pregame activities, let's join Scott Graham at our Progressive Commercial Insurance Center. Get a business insurance quote online in as little as 8 minutes. Visit progressivecommercial.com. Scott, your 17th Super Bowl. Great to be your teammate today, and take it away.
16 of them with you, Kevin. It couldn't be more than an honor that this is here this afternoon. Speaking of this afternoon, we have got ourselves a perfect day for football. This kind of harkens back to the way things looked, call it 10 years ago. You understand why I'm saying that in a moment. Coming up, we're going to get you one step closer to kickoff time. We're going to hear from both head coaches, both quarterbacks, and a conversation with NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell. But up next, we're joined by my co-host for the rest of the evening. He is a Super Bowl 50 champion right on this field a decade ago, Ryan Harris. This is Westwood One's coverage of the Super Bowl.
The best of live sports talk are on Sirius XM. Weekday mornings, here Dan Patrick at 9 on NBC Sports.
Oh yeah, and they have so many versions of them now. You can buy like their version of like brioche buns and everything, man. It's You can buy just a loaf of the bread sliced, made from the same thing. Yeah, these cornbread from here are really good. A little sweet, but
Just start your week with that. Then get the celebrity scoop with Page 6 Radio and Stars. We're so excited to get into some of the buzziest headlines going on right now. We'll fix that. So, we hear things. Your hot takes with the Smith Sisters on Radio Andy. Power up the side, Hollywood. We take you on the deepest dive you can imagine into pop culture because we've done the reading. You're finally going to get the story behind the story. Yes. And don't miss Andy going live. The King of Combos. Lady Gaga, Home Domingo, Howard Handy, Kylie Minogue, the hottest recommended Kevin Hart, John Mayer, Zach Rogan, Ed Sheeran. Are you the shortest?
and it's great. We'll be heading south in a minute.
Good morning live for the morning drive. Sirius XM 102 through 109 and the Sirius XM app.
Hello, it's me, Katie Nolan, host of Casuals on the SiriusXM Podcast Network. It's a podcast for people who like sports a normal amount. Every Tuesday and Thursday, I'm joined by some of the biggest names in sports and entertainment to break down our favorite news stories from the sports world and beyond. It really doesn't matter what level of sports fandom or knowledge you have, just bring what you've got. We're here to have fun and learn together. No judgments. You can find Casuals on the SiriusXM app or wherever you get your podcasts. And don't forget to follow the show so you never miss an episode. Love you. Eat it.
Westwood One celebrates 60 years of the Super Bowl.
Carolina will get one more snap. The storyline the last 2 weeks has been all about Peyton Manning. At 39 years of age, the oldest starting quarterback to ever get under center and start a Super Bowl. In what may be the final game of his Hall of Fame career, he and the Denver Broncos have defeated the Carolina Panthers.
Come on, why are we moving so slowly?
As the confetti flies, Denver is your Super Bowl 50 champion.
It was a coronation ceremony. One of the greatest quarterbacks of all time about to walk away from the game. And his final bow came along with the golden anniversary celebration of the Super Bowl, the last time it was played here in Santa Clara. Peyton Manning was not the centerpiece of the 24-10 Denver victory. He threw for only 141 yards and no touchdowns, but his counterpart, Cam Newton, had a much tougher day. He turned it over 3 times, including a fumble that was recovered for a Denver touchdown, and was sacked 7 times. Von Miller was the game's MVP, but the honor could have gone to the entire Broncos defense, built by Super Bowl winning quarterback turned executive John Elway. This moment for the past 60 years of the biggest game in pro football is brought to you by Nutrafol. Nutrafol Men is the game plan that puts you back in control of thinning air. Go to Nutrafol.com/bet to start today. It was a decade ago. It was right here in this stadium on another gorgeous day, maybe 10 degrees warmer, but one of the guys who was on the field that got an opportunity to celebrate and put on a ring is my co-host for the rest of the day today, Super Bowl 50 champion Ryan Harris. Welcome back to what's got to be one of the peak moments of your life.
It was the most incredible day outside of marrying my wife and having my kids, and it just brought so much to my life and to my teammates. And I got to talk to Peyton a couple nights ago, and we were discussing how this game is unlike any game, from the anthem to the podium. And then I got to get the Lombardi Trophy from Peyton and hand it to DeMarcus Ware. I don't know how I was the fulcrum, but it was one of the greatest moments of my career.
I get an opportunity to look at that ring, and I tell you what, that moment is something that it lives with you forever. You heard Vince Lombardi at the beginning telling us it stays with you forever. That brotherhood is forever, and this has to be a timestamp in your lives. I'm sure the guys at the field right now aren't thinking that could be them, but it could be.
Well, they have to entertain it, and what it starts like is, where are your parents sitting? You find out where your parents are sitting in the stands. You find out where they're afterwards. But then you have to get through really this entire beginning of the game. You're going to come out. The first thing's going to be on the field for about 20 minutes before anything else starts. And then you have a singer with planes overhead. You have to be ready to be distracted, refocus, and then play the toughest game because your opponent is as good as you and did the same things you did to get here.
All right, so speaking of these two teams, some broad strokes as we get ready for this game and what it is that they have to do, what they have to make happen out there, the focus early in the game for both teams.
Well, for Seattle, it's going to be having elite execution. They have to keep Sam Darnold upright. They have to take care of the football, no turnovers. And then, oh, by the way, you have to have some guys like Walker and Shaheed show up in a big way. They also have to limit the penalties. That's the one piece people are missing about this phenomenal Seahawks team. They got in trouble even against the Rams with the penalties, so they got to be sure to play clean football and have that elite execution. And for New England, you have to prove it again. And I don't think any team wants to do it more than them. They're happy to be the underdogs. I think you want to be the underdog coming into this game, but they got to get Ramondre Stevenson running the football early and often. They got to get sacks on Sam Darnold, and they have to allow Drake May some opportunities to use his legs. That's a great part of this offense that a lot of people overlook. It looks a little bit reactionary, but it is planned at times, and they got to do that again today.
Do you also have to do the impossible, which is be ready for something you can't be ready for, like a Philly special or a ball being snapped over Peyton Manning's head for safety?
You absolutely do. And the first thing is know how your process is to react to the unexpected. Okay, if I'm seeing something I don't expect, I'm going to play my technique. If it's wrong, we'll learn about it, but I'm not going to let that be the play that gets me distracted for the rest of the game. And then you got to be able to execute, too, in key situations, because some of the situations is when you are going to get those different exotic looks.
You can stream the Super Bowl and Westwood One for free, sponsored by LinkedIn Ads. With LinkedIn Ads, every ad gets served to the MVPs you need. Get a $250 credit when you spend $250 in your first campaign. Go to linkedin.com/campaign. Terms and conditions apply. Reminder, you can listen on WestwoodOneSports.com or by downloading the Westwood One Sports app today. And today's matchup features two defensive-minded coaches, one who played the game at its highest level, the other took an alternate route to coaching, and two quarterbacks who both were selected in the top 5 with very different early returns on their careers. Kurt Warner's conversation with Patriots head coach Mike Vrabel is next. You're listening to Super Bowl 60 on Westwood One. Serving my country required sacrifice that changed my life forever. I remember the day I came home. Because of my injuries, this house wasn't right for me anymore. I remember the narrow doorways, the small bathrooms, the shelves out of reach when in my wheelchair. Every day was full of obstacles. I felt trapped. I remember a better day, the day my family received a specially adapted custom home from Homes for Our Troops. That day changed everything. Now we have a safe and accessible home to enjoy the freedom I fought for. This place, our home, is exactly what we needed to rebuild our lives.
Homes for Our Troops builds and donates specially adapted custom homes nationwide for severely injured post 9/11 veterans and enables them to rebuild their lives. Join our mission at hfotusa.org.
A KFC tale in the pursuit of flavor. The Colonel made his $10 Tuesday bucket so full with 8 pieces of juicy, crispy chicken or tenders that it might just last you till Wednesday. If you've got that kind of self-control. I mean, some people want leftovers. Others are more into right nowers. The Colonel lived so we could chicken. $10, 8 pieces, one big deal with KFC $10 Tuesdays.
Prices and participation may vary. Taxes, tips, and fees extra.
I am Steve Smith Sr., former NFL wide receiver and host of the 89 Show on YouTube. As men, we're taught to handle things. Be strong. Don't complain. Don't talk about it. Being a man also means being a father, a friend, and carrying all that. All right. Ignoring it doesn't make it go away. You got things you don't say out loud. BetterHelp gives you a place to say them. Online therapy that works around your schedule. Visit BetterHelp. That's BetterHelp.com/89. Don't wait.
First and 10 for the Rams. Warner under a rush. Goes after the line. And it's picked off. Time on to the 30. To the 20. Touchdown. Touchdown, New England Patriots. Time long. The quarterback pressure. He goes 48 yards. And the Patriots take the lead.
I'll tell you where the pressure came from. It came from Kurt Warner's right
Esiason here on Westwood One with one of the plays that spawned an upset in Super Bowl 36 and laid the foundation for the New England Patriots dynasty. Welcome back to Super Bowl 60 here in Santa Clara. Today, New England plays in football's biggest game for the 12th time, and a win would give them an unprecedented 7th Lombardi trophy. Mike Vrabel was right in the middle of 3 of those 6 titles that New England won under Bill Belichick, and now trying for his first as a head coach. Vrabel built this newest evolution of the Patriot way, which helped the 4-win team from a year ago arrive here today. Kurt Warner sat down with Vrabel earlier this week.
Coach, let's go back to a year ago when you took over as head coach here in New England. Honestly, what were the goals and expectations for this season?
Well, I've always told everybody I try not to have too many expectations because then you can't be disappointed. So the first thing I wanted to do was put a program together for the players that when they came back, it was something that they wanted to be a part of. It was something that they wanted to build, and it was something that they would want to protect. And that was my
Green
goal,
soda, a couple
sure
brewskis,
that everybody that would touch the players and be around the players knew what was expected of them. They had alignment, put a great staff together, and then be ready for when the players came back in April.
Every Super Bowl team seems to have a moment. What was the moment for this team where you really felt like, hey, we've got a chance to go to the Super Bowl?
Well, my buddy Larry Izzo sent me a video message, and it was about the return, the kickoff return in Miami, and he narrated it for 5 minutes, and he kept rewinding it. And I don't know if it was that, but I'll give Larry credit for sending me that. I can't really pinpoint anything. I know that the guys started believing in themselves, going on the road Sunday night in Buffalo, but it's just such a journey that we've kind of just stayed pretty consistent, and I just feel like we continue to grow and continue to build and be a little bit better each week.
So, Coach, correct me if I'm wrong. When you come across as a coach with an old school mentality, but you connect really well with the new age player, how do you balance the two?
By being consistent and firm and honest, being authentic, being real, but also, trying to get to know them on a personal level and understand what is important to them and the people that raised them. And, again, I've always learned that the things that people that you care about, what they care about,
should get me there with plenty of time.
They see me get mad. They see me
over an hour streaming. I will do a quick raid on somebody.
We spend a lot of time together.
I need to knock those raids out.
You try to not take yourself too seriously.
Yeah, we have munchies in the house.
Perspective that you've been to the Super Bowl numerous times as a player. What's the one thing that you've learned as a player that you try to impart on this team getting ready for this experience?
Well, just not to take these opportunities for granted. I tell them I went to the AFC Championship game my rookie year and didn't make the playoffs the next 3 years. So we focused on that of just trying not to take things for granted and appreciating what you do, where you do it, and who you do it with.
Is that a challenge for you now that you're heading to your 5th Super Bowl? Is it ever a challenge to really appreciate the moment and not let it become commonplace?
No. I mean, I'm having fun coaching these guys. I'm having fun with this staff. I'm excited for their families. We want to embrace the preparation, and we want to enjoy the experience, and we want to enjoy the execution. And we can do all those things and still work hard.
I know as a player, I visualized throwing a touchdown pass to win the Super Bowl. And I know when you were in your first Super Bowl, you visualized pressuring Kurt Warner into throwing an interception to tie him off for 6 points. How do you visualize a game, and specifically a big game like Super Bowl 60 as a coach?
Well, we've talked about believing in things before you can see it. And we've really tried to believe that this is where we would be. And sometimes you have to be able to believe it before you can see it, and we've tried to focus on that. So I'm going to just get these guys ready each day and try not to overload them. We have some time leading up to the game so that we're not doing everything in one day, but just giving them little things to focus on each and every day to improve.
Coach, you've done an incredible job. It's been a fun season to watch. You got one more? Good luck to you.
Thanks, Kurt. I appreciate it.
Mike Vrabel is the 8th head coach all time to lead his team to a Super Bowl in his first season. The last, that was Gary Kubiak, whose Denver Broncos won Super Bowl 50 right here at Levi Stadium 10 years ago.
While Grable was playing his last season in a Patriots uniform, Mike McDonald was just beginning his coaching journey at Cedar Shoals High School in Georgia. Laura Oakman's conversation with the Seahawks head coach is coming up next. You're listening to Super Bowl 60 on Westwood One. Serving my country required sacrifice that changed my life forever. I remember the day I came home. Because of my injuries, this house wasn't right for me anymore. I remember the narrow doorways, the small bathrooms, the shelves out of reach when in my wheelchair. Every day was full of obstacles. I felt trapped. I remember a better day, the day my family received a specially adapted custom home from Homes for Our Troops. That day changed everything. Now we have a safe and accessible home to enjoy the freedom I fought for. This place, our home, is exactly what we needed to rebuild our lives.
Homes for Our Troops builds and donates specially adapted custom homes nationwide for severely injured post 9/11 veterans and enables them to rebuild their lives. Join our mission.
I'm thinking about Patriots, but I don't have any skin in it. I haven't put any money on the game, so I did buy squares, so I don't know. I don't even know what to. I'll have to look at those numbers.
Veoza is the #1 prescribed hormone-free treatment.
I think that my squares only pay half time in the final, though.
Also known as hot flashes and night sweats due to menopause. Veoza can cause serious side effects, including liver problems. Your doctor will do blood tests before and during treatment. Stop Veoza and call your doctor if you have symptoms of liver problems, such as feeling more tired than usual, decreased appetite, nausea, vomiting, itching, yellowing of the eyes or skin, pale stool, dark urine, or stomach pain. Don't use Veoza if you have cirrhosis, severe kidney problems, kidney failure, or take CYP1A2 inhibitors. Ask your doctor about Veoza. To learn more, call 1-866-239-1637 or go to Veoza.com. That's VEOZAH.com. Paid for by Estella Sparrow.
Manning in the gun, 4 wide. 5 in the secondary for the Hawks. Shotgun snap. Manning grips it. He's hit. The ball flutters. It's intercepted. Another interception. It's Malcolm Smith from the 50 to the 40 on the sideline. The 30 gets a block at the 20. Cuts inside the 10. The 5. He returns it for a touchdown. The ball was deflected. It floated in the air. And the linebacker Malcolm Smith got it and races downfield from the sideline to the middle of the field. He returns it 68 yards. And Seattle has picked off Manning for a second time. They lead 21-0. In the shadow of the skyline of New York, Malcolm Smith's MVP performance in Super Bowl 48 gave Seattle its first and still only Lombardi trophy. Welcome back to Westwood One's coverage of Super Bowl 60 from the Progressive Commercial Insurance set along with Super Bowl 50 champion Ryan Harris. I'm Scott Graham. Progressive Commercial Insurance protects small businesses with affordable coverage options. Quote today at progressivecommercial.com. The Seahawks teams under Pete Carroll were known as Legion of Boom defense. Seattle is beginning a new chapter. They've taken on the personality of their head coach, Mike McDonald. He was on an elite academic track at Georgia, but Paul, the coach, was too strong to ignore, so while he was studying, he volunteered to coach linebackers and running backs at a high school in Athens. Today, he becomes the 4th youngest head coach in Super Bowl history at the age of 38. McDonald sat down earlier this week with Laura Oakman.
Science says that we do not bond over shared success. We bond over shared adversity. And I'm so you're pretty much a quarterback. And so you said your quarterback was here to talk about everything that's going through. And how much does that help each piece of when your main guys are guys who have had to fight so much to be here?
I think it just shows what your character is, in those moments. And so, you really understand who these guys are at their core. They haven't just been silver spoon their entire life. And it's well, who are these guys? I don't know. They haven't really been tested. So, shout out to our personnel people that they understand the person. They the work, the people that we know that know Sam, the relationships that we've had throughout the league that have had a relationship with Sam in our building that have known Sam since college days. All those things really matter because we felt really confident on who he was, probably a lot because of the things he's gone through and how he's shown who he is. So it's cool. Yeah, it's a great point. And I'm glad he went through that, otherwise, we wouldn't be having this conversation right now.
Besides business school, you also went to a very prestigious leadership school at the University of Georgia and their institute that only allowed 30 people in a year.
Right.
So I know that you have studied leadership. What's the biggest thing you learned from that you could apply immediately to getting this job?
It's not about you. It's really simple. I went into that school thinking I was going to be sweet, and I was, I'm exclusive, and it's a cool guy, and I was going to get a great job, and just because I made the squad, very quickly I learned that is not what life and leadership is about. So it was an incredibly humbling experience. And then when you're doing it for real, like in high school, when I was coaching high school football, and you're actually putting it, into a day-to-day operation, it just became very clear what leadership was about, and you fell in love with it, like to bring people with you, not necessarily always, hey, the light's shining on me, but it's no, this is where we're going. And man, is that rewarding when you get it right.
What's the one thing that you could never teach a course on, that you have to be in this chair, and I mean this chair, as that you're like, no one could have taught me this, I couldn't have studied this, I had to learn it here?
Man, there's so much you don't know, and you have to be okay with that. You're responsible for what comes to life on the field and where the organization is going for the most part. But there are so many people that have expertise, like Dave, like John Schneider, like our nutritionist Andrew. I mean, all these people that want to help and want to excel in their roles and grow. And if you can align those people and get them pushing in the right direction and feel like they're like an integral part of the mission, that's powerful.
Was there a time last year or this year that you were like, there we are, there it is? Do you remember when it felt like it just was clicking, or it clicked?
I think this training camp, we had a practice once. I think Coach Dungy was there that day, and I just said that was the best practice I've ever been a part of. Like, that was just incredible. I mean, the daily preparation of what it takes to get ready. I think, this is our X amount of practice and X amount of days. When you're in the grind of training camp, but then the spirit of the team to like go and attack the day, and then we get after it. We're competing our tails off. It's a great, both sides making plays. Special teams had a great practice. After practice,
yeah, me too, man. I wish I was in better shape to where I could have done some DoorDash today. I could use the money, but hopefully maybe tomorrow. We'll see.
This is what it is right here.
Try and chill
that
tonight.
Was really special. That was cool. And then not soon after that, it's we're playing the Chiefs, and just to feel the operation and the buy-in from our team and the enthusiasm of like the guys that weren't playing the game, excited for the young guys. It started to really feel like we had a special group.
Have you had the conversation yet about what Sunday looks like, feels like? How much are you talking about emotions and butterflies and all of that?
Yeah, we're talking about it a lot, because this is our first time as a team going through it, and this is my first time for me going to the Super Bowl. So, we're kind of, like I said, you don't know all the answers, so you're trying to plug and find solutions from people that have experienced it, use their advice to the best you can, but also prep the team on, hey, look, we want to be loose and focused this whole process, but I think you do have to understand what's going to be different compared to a normal game. So you can't stay on cadence. So you can't realize.
I may even do another stream from the desktop.
Back down.
From my laptop.
Things that are different from our normal cadence, I think it's important to kind of hit it straight on with the guys and let them know that's going to be.
Ryan, one thing to keep in mind, if you take the Rams out of the equation, Mike McDonald's defense is allowing fewer than 10 points per game during this current 9-game winning streak.
They play tough, they compete, they attack like he talked about, and I really want to double click on something he said. He realized it's not about him, and as a player, you want your coach to understand that he's on your team, you're on his team. It's a two-way street, and that way you have more of a teammate who has a coaching responsibility than a head coach who's telling you what to do. And conversely, for Mike Vrabel, I thought it was great that he told his guys, hey, don't take this for granted. I had to wait 8 years before I got the chance to play in the Super Bowl. It is something unlike any other opportunity, and you have to make the most of it. Bring that energy. It's worth it to study. It's worth it to get a little extra sleep, and it's worth it to have the game of your life.
It seems like these teams, we say culture too often, but it seems like these teams have adopted a culture.
Both of these franchises, if you're a fan of one of them, you're going to be back in this arena, in this area of the Super Bowl because of the way these coaches have approached the game and as well as coached their team in just a short amount of time. It's really remarkable that both these head coaches are here today based on the fact that they really hadn't been in this situation before.
Time now to hear from Nick Costos of You Better You Bet on Westwood One Sports, presented by BetMGM. With some of the numbers our listeners might be interested in.
She's been streaming for 10 hours. Holy crap.
Thanks, Scott, and happy Super Bowl Sunday. The spread for Super Bowl 60. See Sam Darnold and the Seattle Seahawks, about a 4.5-point favorite over Drake May and the New England Patriots, the total around 45.5. The big move in the betting market the past 2 weeks has been towards the under. As for the side, it feels like most analysts think the Seahawks win and cover, and I agree. I think the most likely outcome, New England's offense struggling to score against the excellent Seahawks defense. If you disagree, consider a bet on the Patriots. As for props, if you think Seattle wins a lower scoring game, consider Jackson Smith-Njigba for MVP with better odds than Darnold. If the Patriots can't run successfully, Drake May will have to throw. May's passing yards prop, 222.5. And Seattle tight end A.J. Barner feels undervalued at both yards and to score. This report was sponsored by BetMGM. Own your moments. Make it legendary. Please gamble responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Scott, back to you.
All right, thanks, Nick. Still to come, we've got a conversation with Commissioner Roger Goodell, and we'll talk with Sam Darnold and Drake May. This is Westwood One's coverage of the Super Bowl.
When it's time to turn up. Turn to Flex 2K, a Sirius XM channel that takes you from 2000's play to the rise of track. Let's go, man. Nothing but the hip hop bangers that define the first 2 decades of the millennium. Flex 2K, Channel 49, and the Sirius XM app.
Your soul may feel broken today,
Joel Osteen.
but your soul can be restored. When you get honest with yourself,
Media
you
preacher.
release what you need to release, guilt, worry, anger, jealousy, then healing will come. Joy will come. Peace will come. Salvation. God is doing a new thing. Forces that have held you back are being broken off of your emotions, your attitudes, your thoughts. You are not going to live wounded. He's restoring your soul. Be inspired. Your latter days are going to be better than your former days. You're about to step into a new level of joy, peace, fulfillment, abundance, victory. You know, the best part of your life is still in front of you. Inspiration whenever you need it. 24/7. Joel Osteen Radio, Sirius XM 128, and on the Sirius XM app. Get Stephen A. Smith, and I'm officially back.
All right, let them know that I sent you. I'm going to go ahead and send you guys over there. Gamer girl.
Sports talk like this, you know me, passionate, opinionated, and an unfiltered, uncompromising viewpoint. You think you got what it takes to talk sports with me? Well, a phone call away. You better bring it. It's the Stephen A. Smith Show at 1 and 6 p.m. Eastern on Mad Dog Sports Radio. A show so nice, you get it twice on Channel 82, in the car, and on the Sirius XM app.
Welcome back to the Super Bowl 60 pregame show on Westwood One. It's time to dip into the archives for another classic call, sponsored by